Dixiecast podcast, The Sound of the South. I'm out here at War Eagle Mill for the annual craft fair. Today is Thursday, October the 13th, and the fair runs through October the 16th. It opens at 8 a.m. and I am here at about 11, so it took me a bit to get over here. However, the place is absolutely packed, and I think it's just going to get better and better. So it's a beautiful day out here, mid 60 degrees, and I'm just really looking forward to taking you around and showing you this beautiful craft fair.
So I am Katie Templin. I'm the executive director of the War Eagle Fair, the great-granddaughter of the founder. We started in 1954 as a way for artists and crafters to display their wares. We've tried to continue that tradition over 60 years later with just we want to showcase a place for these artists to be able to showcase their hard work. A lot of these artists come out here and this is kind of a stress release for them. They really like to do this just to keep themselves happy, and so it's nice for them to have a place to show that off. So that's what we're trying to do out here.
And curious, those vendors who've been here in the past, do they need to apply every year, or are they just kind of grandfathered in? How does that work?
They turn in an entry form every year, so once that they apply, they don't have to reapply the next year. So you're generally accepted back unless there's something going on different. But most of the time, everybody's accepted back. That we usually try to keep them in the same space. So we have about 20% new vendors to 80% returners.
And how many people would you say come through here?
Over the 4 days, we usually get about 150 to 200,000 people.
Very good. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate that interview.
War Eagle Mill is located in Rogers, Arkansas, which is in Benton County. As mentioned in my previous podcast, episode number 5, War Eagle Mill is the last functioning grist mill in the United States. This is a marvelous place to visit, and this weekend especially. People from all ages and abilities are welcome, as the terrain where the fair is located is relatively flat. There's plenty of parking, including handicapped parking, and an abundance of clean porta potties as well. What surprised me most is the vendor list included craftsmen from California, Colorado, Florida, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, not just the surrounding states here in Arkansas. If I were an artist who traveled to do craft fairs, I would travel far and wide to get here. This is not your ordinary vendor fair, and I think you will agree when I show you some of the wares from the vendors that I interviewed. The vendors are Todd Mueller from Time Vault Treasures, Travis Pennington and Tyler Bradley from Haft and Hyde, Haley from Plum Creative, James Barton from Hammered Creations, and Steve Curlin from Live Edge Wood Turnings. If you like what you see, I have their contact information featured in the links below. There's a good, healthy number of food trucks as well. Definitely something for everyone. They also serve breakfast, which makes sense since they open so early. Food trucks include fresh strawberry crepes, funnel cakes, fresh fried potatoes, pork, chicken, corn dogs, corn on the cob, sausage, and much more. I personally enjoyed every moment of my ham-poured corn dog and root beer.
Think we're good? All right. Hi, I am Todd Mueller. We're here at War Eagle Craft Fair, up on the hill in the big white circus tents, tent number 2. I think my 4th year being here, but we have a business, Time Vault Treasures, and we make art out of old vinyl albums. So I basically design all kinds of different genres and themes. We built a custom machine that does the intricate cutting into these guys, and they make just some absolutely fun and amazing gift ideas. They're very reasonably priced. But yeah, we're based out of Colorado now, but this show has been good to us, so we always travel back. And again, we're at War Eagle, and we have some really amazing, unique finds.
So my name is Travis Pennington. This is one of my best friends, Tyler. We work together. We've known each other for about the last 8 years or so. And about 4 years ago, my grandfather passed, and grew up on the farm. My grandparents about halfway raised me. After he passed, I went out to the farm and I found his old axe. I recognized the axe and brought it home. I've always enjoyed old tools. That's why I've got some of the hand planes and things like that that I've cleaned up. But after finding that axe, I went home, cleaned it, restored it, loved it, all sorts of the memories, but didn't know anything about it. So I went to social media and found a group. It's called Axe Junkies on Facebook, and was kind of overwhelmed by just the community of people that love axes, and that's when the addiction started. And so what I do is I go to a lot of estate sales, auctions, yard sales and things like that, and I look for stuff that people don't want anymore. Most of this stuff is in pretty bad shape. I'll show you this is an example of something that, it's got a lot of spalling on the edge here where it's just been mushroomed out from use over time. It's rusty. The handle's loose. And so what I'll do is I'll take the time to clean it up, bring it back to its original shape, so it'll function properly. And then some of the handles I make, like this one, others are made by manufacturers like Whiskey River or Liam Hoffman. And then if I can maintain the original handle I try to keep it as original as possible. But sometimes the handles are rotted out and things like that. And so then fast forward to this guy. Not too long ago, surprisingly, he had mentioned being interested in doing leather work, and so I asked if he would make some sheaths. So I gave him a couple of axes. He comes back a few months later, and I was like, wow, these are actually pretty good. And then a few months later, he came back with some more, and I was like, wow, these are really good. And now I've been kind of blown away by how fast he has just improved, and it's been really cool to see. So now we have a booth together, and he's doing everything from axe sheaths to purses to wallets to phone cases and all sorts of stuff. But it's a lot of fun. It kind of molded and happened quickly for us to be here. We've never done a craft fair before. We have no idea what we're doing. We're hanging on by the skin of our teeth and having a good time.
Sounds fabulous. Well, thank you for the interview. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We'll just walk around and
Absolutely.
showcase your awesome stuff.
I'm Haley, and I'm with Plum Creative, and we're out here at War Eagle, and I was just going to show you some things that we make for babies. We call these our baby nest, and you can cinch this ribbon up when they're small so that they feel more nested, and then you can untie it and let their legs hang out as they grow. My daughter's 2.5, and we use this to travel and to transition them to their crib. They all have inserts that are reversible. And there's a zipper here so that you can wash it frequently. And then when they spit up in the middle of the night, you can just flip this over. And you can wash this whole thing the next day. So we call these our baby nest. And then we also have some tag blankets here. And they like to crinkle those. And then we have teethers. We have pacifier clips, and these are for baby dolls and teepees. Then over here we have shopping cart high chair covers, and they have little pockets in them, and then you can little tags so you can attach a toy or whatever you want to there. And then we have our necklaces, and then we have some car seat canopies, and we also have those little don't touch tags. And that's what we have here at Plum Creative.
And you are in number 1?
Yes, we are in tent 1. Thank you.
Hello, my name is James Barton. My business is Hammered Creations. I make blacksmith items. I've been a blacksmith for 46 years. And we mainly focus on Viking culture items. Most of the knives and swords are Viking in nature. We have Viking games. We make Viking feasting items such as mugs and bowls and plates and spoons, all made out of the materials that the Vikings would have used. We do Viking jewelry, which is bronze casting. We have a lot of those type items for their sword pieces. The mugs are made out of cow horn, and they're what is actually the earliest example of a cup ever used by man. Every culture that drinks out of a cup today had cows in their ancestry, and the cultures that did not have cows drank out of a bowl because they got used to not having a cup. And the Vikings were well known for being very creative, and they innovated a lot of things that our culture still uses today, and we make copies of those, such as combs. They made their combs out of bone, and the Vikings were using combs, both the males and the females, where they were the first culture to really do that. So we have some lovely examples back here on the table. It's actually the fastest growing religion in the world. People are getting away from Christianity. It's kind of funny.
All right, so we have Steve Curlin with Live Edge Wood Turnings here in Northwest Arkansas, and he's going to tell us about his wares here.
Okay, one I just created is this fairy house, and it was the first thing that sold this year. But I ran out of time. I didn't have enough time to make any. The other products we've been selling for up to 30 years. This is our 31st year.
And how long does it take you to do one of these fairy houses?
The fairy houses take almost a day. Luckily, I'm retired, so I can.
Very nice. So what are your biggest sellers, Steve?
One of the biggest sellers is these handmade Santa Clauses. My wood turnings are not in this booth. And then when we do these driftwood houses, so here's another Santa Claus.
All in time for Christmas.
Yeah. We do very well on Christmas items because it gets close and they buy for
And how many
other
of
kids.
these fairs do you hit every year, or holiday fairs do you like to visit?
I'm retired now, so we just do this one. We used to do a lot of Colorado shows, but because we're local now, we still go to Colorado, but we don't do the shows.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much for sharing. This is lovely.
Okay.
And we'll check in with you again.
Then here's the other miscellaneous items. Christmas tree ornaments. Snowman on a bicycle. That's a one-time deal there.
And what's the average cost range for your things?
It probably averages $40, $45, somewhere in that range. And the sheep always sell good too. They're around the corner here. Yeah, and these, like these buckets. We usually have a couple black ones, but not this. So the black sheep of the family.
This is great. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, Steve.
Thank you for coming and seeing me.
Thank you.
As you can see, the venue here is gorgeous. It's right out of a Norman Rockwell painting, and it's also inviting to sit on the grass and have a picnic and enjoy the lovely setting on an October afternoon. If you walk across the bridge to another fair taking place on the premises this weekend, you can also enjoy the restaurant at War Eagle Mill. This is Jill Varvel with Dixiecast, the sound of the South. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you will join me next week for another heaping helping of Southern comfort for your ears.